I never made it, but I know what it takes.
About to spray it off. Pretty much got it together. So I'm gonna spray it off, get it buffed. Got shop dust on it and whatnot, so I'm gonna give her a little bath.
I'll last a bit longer. Find another reason to breathe this air.
Alright, so I made a rookie mistake. I pulled the truck out to give it a bath, and I put the hood latch on to keep the hood shut long enough for me to drive it out there and then pop the hood so I could spray off the motor, spray all the garage dust off of it so I could buff it. And yeah, I forgot to put the hood latch cable on, so now I'm messing with that. So I just wanted to give you guys another little video of it all together and whatnot. So yeah, till next time, y'all. A couple days. I'll probably have it buffed in about 2 days and bring it out in the sun. Maybe get these 80-pound injectors in it, hook it up to the laptop, and sneak out on one of these county roads and try and get some data. Alright, y'all. So picked up this bargain bench seat today for the truck. Found it on Marketplace for 80 bucks. Somebody had already commented that they wanted it, so I offered dude $100 to sell it to me, and he sold it to me. And then I got the new seat belts. I'm about to install them. I ended up picking this up. It has a tack, so I'm going to restore this so I can do away with the big fuel gauge and get the little fuel gauge and the tack in there. So I pretty much just got to disassemble it, clean this up real good, and then they sell sticker kits to slide over around the needles, and I'll sticker this in the fuel gauge, and then I'll use my 91 Suburban Speedo and the rest of my original gauges and have a custom. I'll have a custom cluster. So right now I'm working on tucking the Holley computer up under the dash. So it's just got 2 3/4 inch zip screws in the AC box there, and then a bracket right there that I made out of just a piece of 1/8 inch aluminum. And then I got the relays secured up here and started tucking the wiring. Now I need to get this wideband hooked back up in the boost gauge. And if you're new to the channel, the only reason I mounted those on the dash there is because this dash pad I got out of a parts truck, and it looked perfectly mint. Ain't a problem with it. But right there and right there were holes in it where somebody had mounted a CB to a CB clip there, and then they had something else mounted up top, like a cell phone mount or something later on. So I mean, it looks ugly and whatnot, but that's just what I went with, just to cover it up, to get as much life out of this dash pad as I possibly could. But I'm about to pull the floor shifter back out, and I'm going to try and make this cable off of this floor shifter here. I'm going to take it back out because I got the bench seat in now. Put it back on the column, but I'm going to make a bracket for that so that I can hook it up to the Where's it at? See that little tab? Right there, right under the booster, right by that green and yellow wire. That's a shifter tab where the rods would drop down and go to the transmission. I have the rods off of another parts truck that I got the frame off of. So I can go that route, but I'm going to try and make the cable work. Because I'd rather use the cable over the rods, because the cable is off of a... It's like off of a, I would say like a 04 to 05 Trailblazer, because I had that Colorado, that Chevy Colorado. See here, look. I had these Cadillac CTS seats and this Colorado center console, and then those gray filler panels that I made for the side. And then I had that Trailblazer shifter with the cable on the side of the 4L60. So the seat, I mean, some Armor All and it'll be immaculate. I like this X steering wheel, but it's narrower. It's narrower this way than the original one. This is out of that 91 Suburban, but it sticks out a lot farther. I mean, it's comfortable for me, but if I were to let my buddy Josh drive it, he's a little bigger guy, he'd probably have a tougher time, because this is, but I'm thinking about selling this, because these go for a decent amount of money, and this one's in perfect shape. So I'm thinking about selling it and putting an aftermarket one on there. But the seat belts are really going to set this thing off with this black seat. I couldn't pass on it for what I got, $100. It's got, I mean, worst case scenario, I'd like to do a seat that's black and gray, because even when I buy a new dash pad, unless I change my mind later, I kind of want to keep the gray to kind of break up the interior a little bit. And I'm going to do the black door panels with probably gray carpet on the bottom, maybe gray armrest, just to change it up a little bit. So I was thinking about I'm going to buy the billet controls and shifter and everything for the column. One of these days I'll put an I did it column in here. That way I can shorten it up even more. That way you get a lot more space. And in a collision you're less likely to bust your face on it, because there's no airbags in this truck. So yeah. But I gave her a bath yesterday. I wanted to start buffing on it today, but then I went and got that seat, so I didn't get that done. Tomorrow I got my vent window latches off of eBay. They were like 20 bucks. They are came from JL Fabrication. They sent this awesome sticker with them, so check them out. And then I don't know if you're hip to Uncle Gus or not, but check him out on YouTube. Burnout is the no, it's Burn Down's the name of the channel, my bad. With his Malibu. He does a lot of LS stuff, and Holley as well. He's if you're hip to sloppy mechanics, he's about the same genre. So, but the wastegate spring will be here tomorrow, so I'll get that in. I got the MAC valve, the dome pressure sensor, so, and I got the 80-pound deck injectors. So tomorrow I would, before I start wet sanding and buffing it, I'd honestly like to get all that mechanical stuff in there and have everything mechanical done, because if I wet sand and buff it and then I scratch it, then I'm gonna have to fix a scratch and buff it again. So what I like to do is I like to get everything mechanical done, bolting on fenders, setting gaps, all that good stuff, get every last little bit on it, and then mask stuff off if I have to wet sand and buff it. I'll mask it off to buff, but to wet sand, I might just sand up to it as close as I can and call it good, and let the buffer do the rest of the work, because you can buff something without sanding it. All you're doing when you're sanding it, you are leveling it out. So a lot of people just get a piece of paper and sand with their hand, but you're not flattening it out that great. What you honestly want to just get a Durablock, wrap your sandpaper around it, and block sand it like you would body work, and then squeegee it off, and once it looks flat, it's good. So, yep. I want to say thank you to the new subscribers, and I should have made a video yesterday because it would have been a real good video. I didn't get anything done on this truck other than washing it yesterday, because I was over in the other garage installing the Holley Sniper on the Chevelle, the 454 with the Holley Sniper. It was pretty simple. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it was like a 4. It was pretty simple. But my buddy Josh wanted to argue with me for a bit about the fuel pump, because the fuel pump on those, they're designed to push the fuel and not pull the fuel. So if you're running a stock fuel tank designed for a carburetor, there's no baffle in the tank, so the fuel's just going to want to slush around, and so you want to pull from the bottom, and ideally you'd want to put your bung at the back of the tank. That way when you mash on it and the gas goes to the back, you're not losing fuel and starving the motor out. So yeah, I tried to tell him that we had to put a bung in the tank, and he wanted to argue with me about it for a minute. So I had him call Holley to confirm that it would pull the fuel as well as push the fuel. So he just tapped it into the original fuel line. We put it down pretty low, so hopefully there's no problems out of that. But we had it out today, driving it around, helping it learn, and it's a whole nother animal. It's got a lot more power now. So if that's something you are into, I will probably do a little video over the Holley Sniper kit. The install is just, it's so easy and simple that there's no reason to honestly make a video about it, because it's literally if you're running a stock HEI distributor, you pull your tack wire out of your distributor, you hook the new coil wire from the Sniper to the tack signal off of the distributor, you hook a positive to the battery and negative to the battery, you put in a temp sensor, and then you drill a hole in the side of it, and it comes with a O2 bung for 2.5-inch pipe, where you don't even have to weld it on. It just goes on the side of it, and then it has 2 band clamps that go around it. So it's that simple. And then it has outputs for fans and everything else. So I'll do a video on it and take you guys for a ride. I got the mount for the GoPro for the exterior of the truck. So I'm hoping, if not this week, the beginning of next week, I can get out, make a few rips to get some data, and do some burnouts on this new Yukon Duragrip. So, alright y'all, until next time, thanks for listening to me jabber. If you like the seat, give me a thumbs up, y'all. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Help me get up there and make this channel a little bit better, because when this truck's done, there's more projects to come. I got a '75 Nova that I'm pulling in here next. I know it's not that exciting of a car, but it's got nice small block in it with a nice cam. It's from my father-in-law, and the deal is I'm going to do body work on it and paint it for him, and he's going to hand me a Summit card, and I get to go on a little shopping spree for the truck. So that'll be exciting. We'll get some parts for the truck that I wouldn't regularly be able to afford, or if he paid me money, the wife would want her